I think that the thing that I value the most about family social science as a field, and certainly this applies with students, is that it systemically connects dots across our individual, which would be our physical and our psychological functioning, our relational functioning as it relates to couples, families, and certainly in a broader sense, communities, even geopolitical layers, which certainly are influencing and affecting us now as well. Family social science is conceptually in the middle of that, and the classes that we teach, I think, do right by that complexity. In our intimate relationships class, we look at the different physiological and psychological processes of mating, of courtship, of the things that work for and against us in the context of relationships. In the relationships that we're in, for better or worse, how are we functioning with each other? When I do this, what do you do back? And how is that working for or against this couple? The ways that we communicate, the ways that we love, the ways that we express those loves, the ways that we succeed and the ways that we fail. And I think that the direct applicability of that for students in their own life to say, oh my gosh, I see myself in what I'm learning or what we're talking about here, and then the direct applicability in terms of the professional next steps. I think that as a faculty member, one of the unique things that I have, and it influences me every day, honestly, is that I have a number of different layers and reasons to have allegiance to or belief in family social science. When I was 18 years old and starting college and not quite knowing what I wanted to do, I was I think in some regards, typical undergrad that charged into college and was changing majors a number of different times, trying to figure out what to do or what really fit with the different types of career paths that I was starting to envision and what lit me up. And I found and discovered family social science actually in this department at the University of Minnesota. And it was extraordinary for me when I found it because from the very first class that I took, I was getting great grades and was excited to come to class and was learning about different things that were immediately applicable into my own life, but then influencers of or informers of the professional trajectories that I was going to take. And then I left and I graduated and I went on to my master's program in family therapy. And I think that my foundation as an undergrad in family social science was essential in terms of my competitiveness in graduate school, and it was very informative of me being able to hit the ground running in that clinical program. During my graduate program during my master's degree, I got lit up by the research bug and trying to connect the scholarship with the clinical work that we're doing, and it became clear to me that a PhD would make sense in terms of the trajectories that I was starting to envision. And when I applied, I came back here. And so my second layer was as a PhD student here in this department. And that's where I started to do the intersection with families and medicine per se, and identified medical family therapy as a specialty of mine. Then I graduated with my PhD, and I went away and I did internship in a residency setting in North Carolina, out of state. Started my first faculty job in the medical school back here at Minnesota. And as the stars would line up, eventually transitioned back here as a faculty member. And there were a variety of things that were lining up in order for that to make sense. But it's an honor. It's an extraordinary honor every day to be doing research and to be teaching and to do the service and all the things that it relates to or that relate to a faculty post within the very department that helped me to get my own direction going a very long time ago. And I think that in many regards, as I sit in a classroom that I have 2 and 3 and 4 layers of different memories with, I think that that allegiance and that energy to do right by my students is even more than really it ever could be. I mean, I want the experiences of my undergrads and my graduate students to even come close to what mine have been. And if they do, and if I was able to play some kind of role in that, then I did right by them. If or as we connect all of those dots, we're truly walking the walk in terms of the systems framework and the systems perspectives that do define family social science. And the care that we're going to provide, if we're going to go into mental health or physical health care professions, the research that we're going to conduct, if we're going to try to understand human or couple or family or even community phenomenon, are going to purposefully connect those dots. Anybody that's ever gotten goosebumps when you're scared or butterflies when you're nervous knows that your mind and your body are always talking to each other. Anybody that's always thought about or worried about what are my family or my friends going to think of this new person that I'm dating, anyone that has seen or contextualized the ways that they're doing their relationship, the ways that they're doing their parenting, as it's seen through the eyes of, with or without the support of that broader community, is walking the walk on those systems. I think family social science tries to connect those systems. It's complex and at times it's overwhelming, but I would rather deal with complex and overwhelming than miss some of the richness of the worlds that our patients or our clients, our families that we serve reside within.